Okay, write down all the factors of 20. Now what we need to do is find all the numbers that divide perfectly into 20. Okay, and we do that by looking for factor pairs. Now I always start with the number 1, okay, right, because it makes sense to start at the beginning. And I think about then, what do I times by 1 to get 20? Of course, 1 times 20 give me 20, right? And that's great. Every question, right, whatever factors you're looking for, whatever number you're looking for the factors of, we always start with 1, right? Because 1 goes into every number, doesn't it? 1's a factor of everything. And you find its partner. Of course, 1 times 20 gives me 20. Once you've dealt with 1, let's go on to 2. Now, does 2 go into 20? Of course it does, doesn't it? Now, what do we times in by 2 to get 20? 2 times 10. 2 times 10 will give me 20, right? So, we've dealt with 2. Let's do with 3. Does 3 go into 20? No, it doesn't. 3 doesn't go into 20. So, let's go on to 4. Does 4 go into 20? And it does. 4 times what gives me 20? 4 times 5. And then after 4, of course, I'm going to do 5. But I've already got 5 written down, so there's no need. Once I start repeating, I can stop, right? Because if I did write 5 here, I'd have 5 times 4, yeah? And this is just a repeat. So as soon as you start repeating, you're done, and I've got all the factors. They're listed in pairs, but literally I can write them all down. You can write them in a set like this if you want. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, okay? Or you can just list them in a normal list, right? But you make sure you list them in order. Okay, write down all the factors of 30. So, 30, where are we going to start? Well, we start at the beginning with number 1, because 1 is a factor of every number. And find its partner. What do we times by 1 to get 30? Well, it's 30, isn't it? 2 goes into 30, 2 times 15. 3 does actually go into 30. 3 divides into 30. What's its partner? 10. 4 doesn't go into 30. 5 does. What do we times by 5 to get 30? We times 5 by 6. Okay? 5 times 6 gives me 30. That's his partner. After you deal with 5, should we check 6? But I've already got it, haven't I? So just repeat it. So then I can list my factors. You just list them if you want, like this. 1, 2, 3, 5. So you go down. And then you go up here. So they're in order. 6, 10, 15, 30. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more questions. Says here, circle your answer for each of the following. All right, a factor of 50. All right, a factor of 50. So what we need now are numbers that divide into 50 perfectly. All right, so does 8 divide into 50? Well, it does. If you go through your 8 times table, it doesn't. Okay, it won't go into 10. Will 10 will go into 50. 10 goes into 55 times. It's got to be 10, isn't it? Okay. It's not going to be these. 100 is more than 50, so it can't be a factor. 3 won't go into it. And 50 squared is just 50 times 50, isn't it? That's going to be a really big number, so you can forget that. B, a square number. Well, we don't know of square numbers, right? Then we can know which one is here. And then we could list those square numbers by the side. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay. 2 times 2. That's how we get our square numbers. Times the numbers by itself is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, it hasn't appeared yet. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. And we could keep going, couldn't we? It's not appearing yet. Okay, so 7 times 7 is 49. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. I think 81 was there, wasn't it? So we got that number there. Alright. Part C, we have a prime number. Prime number has got exactly 2 factors, right? It's got exactly 2 factors. Now if you think about 14, 14 has got 1 as a factor, 2 as a factor, 7 goes into it, 14, that's no good. 4, 1 goes into it, 2 goes into it, it's no good. 4 goes into it, forget it, right? 21, 1 goes into it, 3 goes into it, and 7 goes into it, forget it, right? There's more than 2 factors. Remember, for prime, it's got to be exactly 2 factors. 39, well, 1 goes into it, 3 goes into it, 13 goes into it, 39, forget it. 19 is the one that's prime. If you think about it, 19 only two factors, 1 and 19, 1 in itself. Part D then, it says multiple of 7.5. Okay, so which of these here is a multiple of 7.5? Well, we can use a calculator, all right? But we've got to remember, they're asking for multiples of 7.5. So we could get our calculator and do 7.5 times 1, which is 7.5. Is that in the list? No. So we could do 7.5 times 2, 15. Is that in the list? No. So we do 7.5 times 3, which is 22.5. Is that in the list? 22.5? No. And then we could do 7.5 times 4, 30. That's in the list, is it? Yeah, it's there. So it's got to be that one there. Okay, last page says using only numbers between 30 and 39 inclusive, write down a number which is a multiple of 7. Right, so between 30 and 39, basically it's all these numbers, right? And inclusive means that it includes 30 and 39. So between 30 and 39 is all of them, including 30 and 39. A number which is a multiple of 7. Now, if you think about what we discussed earlier, multiple of 7, right, is just the 7 times tables. Okay, so, you know, again, if this is a calculator paper, right, you could do 1 times 7, 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7, 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. So it's got to be 35, right? Prime number. Prime number, remember now, prime number is exactly 2 factors. You've got to go through each of them to see how many factors they got, or you don't have to list them out. You can just see, like 30, for instance, you know, 10 goes into it, 3 goes into it, 2 goes into it, so forget it, right? 32, 2 goes into it, 4 goes into it, you know, forget it. 31 is a prime number though, okay? The other one, if you check them, is 37, right? And then a square number. So remember we listed them earlier, and I think we remember 6 times 6 will give me 36. So 36 is my square number.